Tonight when it gets dark, take a look up to the night sky. Hopefully, you can see all the stars twinkling away in the heavens. Well, my story today is all about how two stars in particular found their way into the universe. Let me explain. A long time ago, there was an honest and loyal cowherd. That's someone who looks after cows. His name, Niu Lang. He had lived a very sad life up until that point. His parents had died when he was still very young, and so he'd been sent to live with his brother and sister-in-law, who was not a nice person at all. Her name was Mrs. Ma. One day, Mrs. Ma demanded that Niu Lang should bring home all his oxen from the field for her to count.
I want to make sure they're all there, and you're not cheating me. There should be 10 of them. I want to count them all. Every last one.
The only problem was that Niu Lang knew that he only had 9 oxen, no matter how many times he counted them himself.
7, 8, 9. Only 9.
He still only counted 9. He was sure he hadn't lost any, but his sister-in-law would be so cross if he came back with anything less than 10. As the day that he had to present the oxen came near, he sat on a little hill in the field and wept. What could he do? With tears in his eyes, he didn't see an old man appear from nowhere. He took pity on Niu Lang and said,
There, don't take on so. Look, I'm pretty certain I saw an old, ill ox on a hill not very far away at all. Maybe that's your missing ox. Why not go and see, and maybe care for it?
The cowherd went in search of the ox, and eventually found it sitting in a ditch.
Woe is me, woe is me. I feel so tired, and I've broken my knee.
Oh, is that all? We can sort that. Get you back on your feet in no time.
And another thing, I've been expelled from heaven.
Oh, no. What did you do?
Oh, that's my business. Silly little mistake.
How about you come with me? I'll care for your knee and give you some food.
Pretty soon, they were getting on so well, the best of friends. And the ox confessed that he was actually an ox god.
Whatever,
said Niu Lang. Eventually, the god was better, and the cowherd took all 10 oxen back to his sister-in-law. But she wasn't impressed.
That's the scraggiest, mangy group of oxen I have ever seen.
Steady on.
Out you go, all of you, and never come back.
And she slammed the door in their faces.
Look, it's her loss. We can all go and live in the woods by the enchanted river, light campfires, eat jiaozi and baozi, tell stories and sing songs. We'll have a great time.
And that's what they did. One day, however, Niu Lang spotted a weaver fairy bathing in the river. Her beautiful clothes were laid neatly on the bank. He recognised her at once as one of the 9 daughters of the King and Queen of Heaven.
She seems a nice young lady. Why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm too shy, and she's busy.
Come on. I say, Young Weaver Fairy, I'm an ox god, and this is my good friend Newlung. Might we join you?
Oh, you frightened me. Where did you come from?
They had given her a bit of a shock, but although startled to begin with, she soon saw that they were friendly and started chatting away happily.
Oh, but look at the time. I am supposed to be spinning cloud silk for the King and Queen of Heaven. I was only supposed to be taking a quick break. You've been distracting me. But I suppose we can talk a little longer. Who's to know?
Newlung and the Weaver Fairy, who was called Ji-Nu, chatted away for hours. The ox god left them to it, because the couple were getting on like a house on fire.
Now, where were we?
Newlung and Ji-Nu fell deeply in love. They got married, and it wasn't long before they delighted in their 2 children. It's fair to say they were as happy could be. Sadly, the good times didn't last. And when, at last, the King and Queen of Heaven found out that the fairy had wedded a mortal, they became very angry indeed, and her father raced down from heaven.
You're coming with me, young lady.
He said,
You're a very naughty girl. I forbid you from returning to Earth ever again.
Newlung was beside himself. The ox god hated to see his friend so sad, but he also had some sad news of his own.
Look, son, none of us lives forever. My time on this earth is coming to an end.
No, you can't.
Oh, it's okay, I'm fine with it. My essence will move on and become something else. But when that happens, I want you to turn my hide into a pair of shoes and a cloak. Quite apart from being very fashionable, when you wear them, you'll be able to fly up to heaven and search for Ji-Nu and live with her together again.
No way.
And that's exactly what happened. Newlung did exactly as the ox had asked and created a fabulous leather coat with matching shoes.
Thank you, my friend, for all you have done for me.
He tried them on, and at once he flew into the sky towards the stars, startling the other oxen. Soon, Newlung was approaching heaven.
There she is. There she is. I can see Ji-Nu.
And Ji-Nu could see him too. They were so happy, waving excitedly at each other. But just as they were about to be in one another's arms again...
Oh, no, you don't.
The Queen of Heaven took out her hairpin and she scratched it across the sky. To create a silver river, creating the Milky Way. Newlung was trapped on one side of the heavenly river and Ji-Nu was on the other. They were separated forever. They both wept, such tears of sadness, that it rained down upon the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. Their clear and honest love for one another touched the hearts of all the birds, but especially the magpies.
That's sad. Really cool. There must be something we can do.
And there was. Once a year, on the 7th day of the 7th month, all the magpies in China fly up to heaven and form a bridge to unite Niu Lang, Jinu, and the kids as one big, happy, loving family. But sadly, it's just for one day. The rest of the year they have to content themselves with looking at one another across the Milky Way. Niu Lang as Altair on one side, and Jinu as Vega on the other. Ever since that day, the 777 has been a very special day for lovers in China. With that, we conclude this episode of Chinese Folk Tales. Thanks for listening. If you like our stories, do give this podcast a 5-star rating. Leave your comment and share with your friends. To hear more, please subscribe to Chinese Folk Tales on all major podcast platforms. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.